Going Bovine by Libba Bray. Chapter 4. In which a brief sanctuary is found, I failed to comprehend jazz, and I am forced to have a conversation with my asshole father. Eubie's Hot Wax sits 1 block away from the university, nestled between a head shop disguised as an incense and candle store and an art studio famed for its stained glass cat selection. It's a little oasis of sounds, sans the attitude of the mega music store in the mall. It's my favorite place in this dusty Texas town. At Eubie's, there are no 6-foot risers announcing the latest release from a pouty-lipped nymphette with only one name. No college music majors earning extra beer money while snorting out pretentious statements like, "Well, sure, I guess the Copenhagen Interpretation's an okay band, but they wouldn't have been anything if Pet Sounds hadn't come out first." Just bins upon bins of obscure LPs and CDs from newer bands mixed in with jazz and novelty stuff, like my personal fave, The Great Tremolo, whose songs about the pain of life were written solely for recorder and ukulele. You have not felt angst till it's been filtered through Portuguese and nose-thrumming vibration. Plus, he has the highest voice I've ever heard in a dude. When he reaches for that one ball-breaking note in every song, I can't help losing it every time. I was first introduced to The Great Tremolo via one of those satellite radio shows that exists just to play obscure, freaky shit you could swear the producers made up during the break. As I was lying on my bed with my headphones on, the ones I decorated with space stickers from Tomorrowland, the DJ dropped the needle on The Great Tremolo and a song called Para mí he visto ángeles, for which, according to the liner notes, translates to something like, "For I have seen angels." I sat up, straight, laughing. It's like the Great Tremolo's voice is from space, and he's on the verge of crying while he sings, but like crying with happiness, if that makes sense at all. I mean, seriously, how can you not lose your shit over that? The Great Tremolo made close to 20 albums, and with Eubie's help, I've managed to collect 7 of them. I take comfort in the fact that there is someone out there who's more of a loser than I am. And believe me, the Great Tremolo is a total emo loser tilting at sonic windmills. Eubie hears the bells tinkle over the door when I come in and looks up from his perch behind the counter, where he's playing store DJ. He's got a big smile for me. "Hey, Cameron, where you been, my man?" "Nowhere," I say, stepping up to the counter. Eubie is growing a little soul patch. It looks good with the dreads and the multicolored t-shirt emblazoned with the face of some famous reggae star. "Nowhere's a bad place to be. I've been there. How come you got no girlfriend?" I pick up a copy of the free weekly newspaper I have no intention of reading. The Cam Man is meant to be shared by many, held by none. Eubie laughs. He's got a laugh like a machine gun firing through velvet. "That's some serious bullshit, man. Do yourself a favor, friend. Leave my shop and go live a little." I am living. A little. Got any new tremolo for me? Come on back. Eubie leads me through the purple curtains at the back of the store that hide the storage area where the employees take their breaks. It's not much of a room. A couple of chairs, a long counter covered in plastic takeout containers and backpacks. There's a large cork bulletin board on one wall. It's loaded with pictures of the employees dressed up for Halloween and Christmas parties. Ticket stubs from concerts and hard-to-read flyers for band members, needed to poke out at odd angles, overlapping. A torn piece of notebook paper advertises a carload of guys going to the YA party house for spring break who are willing to give somebody a ride for cash. Mardi Gras beads hang from a thumbtack beside a picture of Eubie in a feathered mask, whooping it up on Bourbon Street. Down in the right-hand corner is a picture of an old man in a suit, a hat, and black sunglasses. He holds a trumpet in his weathered hands. Who's this guy? "Junior Webster, best horn player in New Orleans," Eubie says, sucks in air, and shakes his hand like he's burned it. "That cat is outside, I'm telling you. You ever get to NOLA? And you should. Go check out the club he used to play at, the Horn and Ivory." He doesn't play there anymore? Hard to play when you're dead. Here, check this out. From a black plastic milk crate, Eubie pulls out an LP so old and worn I can see the outline of the vinyl and a white ring on the cardboard cover, which shows Junior Webster standing in front of a painting of the galaxy. In the center of these stars is a black hole. Huh, I say. Huh, Eubie mocks. You won't say huh in a minute, son. I'ma school you. Eubie eases the record lovingly from its sleeve and places it on his turntable. Cypress Grove's Blues. If you had on a hat, I'd ask you to take it off, 'cause you about to hear some church. He drops the needle. A mournful horn blows, high and sharp, like a woman's wail at a funeral. Then the whole thing crashes into a wild jazz ride that has Eubie, eyes closed, head forward, hitting some imaginary cymbals like the drummer I know he is on weekends. I don't get jazz. It always sounds to me like a bunch of toddlers let loose in a music room. I try to be polite, though. When the song ends, Eubie pulls the needle off and waits for my reaction. Pretty cool. Eubie raises an eyebrow. Damn right it's cool. That all you gotta say? Really cool? I say, hoping it passes for enthusiasm. Cam, run, Eubie says, shaking his head so his treads wiggle like dancers. You need help, my man. You hearing me? Yeah. I'm telling you, if I had another life to live, I would live it in New Orleans. Making music with Junior Webster, making holes in space with a wall of sound. Music has the power to save the world. Eubie rubs at his soul patch for a second before breaking into a grin. I tell you what, I'm gonna let you borrow this album for the weekend. You listen to the whole thing and see what you have to say then. My palms start to sweat. I don't want to be trusted with Eubie's favorite album, especially since I know I'll never listen to it, and I'll have to come up with some excuse for why I didn't. I put my hands up, back up a little. I don't want to take your best album, Eubie. Eubie tries to hand it off like a baton in a race. He's the only one running. Go on, it's okay. I don't know, Eubie. That's a big responsibility. No, my man, child support is a big responsibility. This is a record. I shake my head. What if it gets broken? I'll kill you. He winks. But it won't get broken. You'll treat it like a baby girl. I know Eubie. He is anal about his LPs. The fact that he is offering it to me is a big deal. But I'm not comfortable with the big deal. I just want to keep things as they are. No expectations equals no failed expectations equals no hurt feelings equals everybody's cool. I put my hands in my pockets and rock on my heels. You know, things are kind of busy at school this week, and I'm working an extra shift at Buddha Burger and stuff, so, but thanks anyways? I give a half-assed smile. So, did you get that new tremolo I ordered? Eubie's disappointed. I can see it in the way he puts the LP back in size, and I feel kind of crappy about it. I'm used to disappointing everyone else, but not Eubie. He shimmies an album out from under a stack on his desk. The cover is a picture of cheesy perfection. 2 wine glasses, soft candlelight, and a feather. Vivere amar, amari viver. There's a translation, a little asterisk after the title. To live is to love. To love is to live. What is it about this guy? Eubie asks. I have a secret thing for the recorder. When Eubie doesn't laugh, I explain. Have you ever listened to this guy? He's a joke. So you buy it to mock him? Eubie plops his long frame down on one of the folding chairs and bites into a health food bar he's had in his shirt pocket. No, not really. Sort of. Well, yes. To him, that shit's sacred. You feel me? He's writing about pain, about the loss of love, the injustice of life, about hope. I'm not going to sell you this if you're just going to make fun of it. That's not what music's about, my man. He gives me a disapproving look. Well, I say, swallowing hard. He does play a mean recorder. Eubie shakes his head. He polishes off the last of the health food bar and pushes me out through the curtains and toward the cash register with my new tremolo record. Here, take the damn album and get yourself a girlfriend. It's warm and sunny when I step out on Mambrino Street. Across the 4 lanes of traffic sits the university where my dad works. My dad is a physicist. He works with people who deal in all kinds of weird cosmic shit. String theory, parallel universes, the viability of time travel. It's not gonna build you a better toaster, but it is trippy stuff that makes you spend all day trying to figure it out. Actually, what I should say is that my dad works against the cosmic. He's a semi-famous debunker of anything that isn't old-school physics. He calls all the new theories the Emperor's New Clothes of Science. I'm not kidding. He actually submitted that as a paper to Scientific Masturbation Quarterly. Alright, it's not really called that. But trust me, when I tell you that it is filled with articles of solo pleasure. The rest of us are bored shitless. They can't prove any of that, Cameron, he always says, and until there's proof, it's not science to me. That's my dad for you. Since I'm so close, I could stop in. A quick cost analysis lists the pros and cons of this move. Pro: I might be able to finagle use of the car for a few hours. Con: I would have to contact my dad. It's a real toss-up. But my Jones for the car wins out. It's one of those amazing early spring days that you get in Texas sometimes, the kind with a hint of summer to it, a preview of coming attractions. And driving around with the windows down would be mighty fine. The Bohr Physics Complex is a dingy pre-war building on the outskirts of campus, featuring neat, ordered rows of classrooms and offices. A huge bulletin board in the center hall is littered with invites for intramural soccer, projects on alternative fuel sources, and buttloads of discussion groups. Which way to the Higgs field? Does the God particle exist? Feel our vibration. Meet in room 101 to discuss the latest in string theory, multiverse theory, and the theory of everything. Hail, Putopia! Exploring the unexplored, the mysteries of dark energy. Dulcinea Hall, 7 p.m. There will be a keg, so come early and get your strangelet on. Dad's office is behind the last door of a long corridor that hasn't seen a paint job since Einstein was alive. The door is open a crack. I hear voices, so I peek through. One of my dad's TAs is in with him. She's been at the house before. Her name is Rachel or Rayleigh, some R name. She's sitting in a chair across from my dad, leaning forward, laughing at something he's just said. My dad doesn't seem like my dad. He doesn't sound angry or annoyed like the dad at home, who does the yard work, pays the bills, rotates the tire, and looks like he hates every minute of it. He's actually smiling, which is just weird. I knock on the half-open door, and Dad stands up quick. Hey there, Cam, what a surprise. You remember Raina, my teaching assistant? Raina. She gives a little wave. Hi. So what brings you here at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon? I was at Eubie's, thought I'd drop by. Great, Dad says, smiling like he wants to sell me a used car. Raina, if you could have those papers ready by Wednesday morning. Sure, Frank. Frank? She calls him Frank? What's wrong with Dr. Smith? Raina and I brush each other on my way in. She has big brown eyes and her hair smells like orange. For a split second, I imagine her naked. But then I think that maybe my dad has done the same thing or even seen her naked, and I'm wishing I had a big doobie to take that thought right out of my head. Dad offers me a seat. Well, this sure is a surprise. So you said. I plop down in the no-frills chair on the other side of his desk, the place where his students sit. This is how they see him. Tall, fit guy in a starched white button-down and khaki pants. Big desk. Big chair. Big diplomas on the wall, behind his graying around those temples' head, making him look like one of those religious icon paintings. A black box with an angel snow globe Jen and I gave him for Christmas one year. The base broke off a while back. And now the angel leans against the glass with both hands like she's trying to get out. One of those metal pin sculptures that molds to your hand and holds the shape. 2 neat stacks of paper, graded and yet to be graded. Lamp on one side, phone on the other. Order, symmetry, authority. Raina's a really smart woman. Great physicist. Those freshmen don't know what they're up against. She could have gone to MIT if she wanted to. Cool. Hey, can I borrow the car? Dad's smile sags, and now he looks familiar, like a birthday balloon 4 days after the party. Is that the only reason you stopped by? I press my face against the metal pin sculpture. When I pull it away, my expression is caught in a scream. Well, it's not like you're using it right now. When your grades improve, we can talk about the car. Dad shakes the sculpture out, erasing me. Hey, you'll probably like these. From a desk drawer, he removes a stack of photos and shoves them into my hands. They're vacation pics. A couple of guys in Gold Coast University t-shirts, backpacking in the mountains. A trio of girls at some mega bowling alley. A crew of rowdy college kids on the beach during spring break. I don't know any of these people. Some of my students have this project. They stole a yard gnome from somebody's lawn and have taken him on vacation all over the world. They pass him off to whoever's going on a trip next. Now I can see the little guy peeking out in each picture. All fat red cheeks, white beard, twinkling eyes. Well, if he could twinkle. He looks like he wants to. He also looks like he could cheerfully beat the crap out of his smug kidnappers. Or maybe he likes to travel? Maybe he sends postcards to the other yard gnomes. Having a great time. No sprinklers here. Funny, I say, throwing them back on the desk, where they fan out in a photographic arc. You didn't even look at them. Yeah, I did. Dad sighs. You know, Cameron, you might at least pretend to be interested in my life. Dad, I looked at them. He tidies up and puts a rubber band around them so they're contained, like him. That's my dad. Never yell when you can simmer. Never scream when you can cut somebody with a look. Never go ahead and have that fight when you can feel righteous about walking away and giving them your back. I've seen a lot of my dad's back. About the car. I was thinking. I could just use it to run a few errands, and then I could come back for you, whenever you're done. I throw him a father-son bonding bone at the last minute. Maybe we could get some pizza. What errands? I say, shrugging. No, I don't know. That's why I asked. Just some errands, for school. What do you need for school? Nothing. Cameron, that doesn't make sense. I just need to borrow the car, to get some stuff. No big deal. Stuff, Dad says, playing with his pen. Books, clothes, sports equipment. Dad would cream himself if I said sports equipment. I was kind of thinking of going out for lacrosse this year. Might look good on the college apps. A solid GPA would look better, Dad shoots back. He and Mom can't figure out how two professors ended up with such a C+ average of a kid. So can I borrow the car? No, I'm working late tonight. Working late, with Raina, no doubt, his T&A. Fine, I growl. Can I at least borrow your ID card so I can get a discount at the campus bookstore? I need to pick up a copy of Don Quixote for English class. I lie. No problemo. Dad smiles and hands me his ID card. To the untrained eye, it looks like he's happy to help me out. But I know he's only happy that he's won. I take the card and pocket it. You're welcome, Dad says. Great, so I'll see you later? Would it kill you to say thanks? Possibly. And since I could end up dead, it seems like an extreme test, don't you think? Who's winning now, Dad? Only the one book. He turns around to face his computer screen. Hello, Dad's back. I've missed you. What took you so long? The arrival of the back means it's officially time to go, but my foot has fallen asleep. It's all pins and needles, and I can't quite feel it under me when I stand on it. I try to stop myself from falling by bringing my hand down hard on the desk. The snow globe topples over and shatters, soaking the yard gnome pictures. Cameron, Dad shouts, pushing his chair back and away from his wet desk. A little hits his pants in a bad spot. I tripped, okay? My foot was asleep. It wasn't my fault. Nothing ever is. Dad opens his desk drawer and pulls out his collection of convenience store napkins. He's dabbing furiously at the pictures, assessing the damage. It's okay, he says. I don't know if he means the pictures or me. I pick up a copy of Don Quixote Fake-It notes and a bottle opener with a padded handle that reads "Screw Me," just to piss Dad off. It's a long bus ride to our subdivision, so I thumb through the free weekly rag I picked up at Eubie's. Strange fires sighted in several states. The world is ending for sure, says Reverend Ignorant. Roadrunner Bus Company, just follow the feather to your next adventure. Missing scientist may be time traveler to other worlds. Troubling teens? For everlasting satisfaction, send them to our church. Did you suffer effects from human growth hormone? If so, you could join our class action lawsuit today. Secret super collider could be breakthrough or swallow our planet in black hole. X marks the spot, says top disease doctor. I've cheated death, and so can you. Ragnarok on. Learn ancient Norse in the comfort of your own home. Call now and get bonus rune pendant absolutely free. Need a job? Exciting opportunities exist within United Snow Globe Wholesalers. Freezing life behind glass. Call 1-800-555-1212. I finish the paper. There are still a few miles to go, though, so I read the first few chapters of Don Quixote. The Fake-It notes tells me that Cervantes is satirizing the culture of idealism. The only thing I know about Don Quixote is that him and his sidekick go off and have imaginary adventures, battling windmills disguised as giants, that sort of thing. No windmills outside the bus windows. Just rows and rows of houses that all look pretty much the same. Sure, some are 2 stories, some are ranches, a few even have that big round turret for a garage, like some kind of ridiculous suburban castle. But they're the same house, spaced out every 5 houses or so by other houses that have matches throughout the neighborhood. When I was a kid, I was always afraid I'd wander into the wrong house and the wrong life by mistake. Now that sounds pretty good. The sky's amazing, though. Bright blue, like paint right out of the tube before you water it down. The clouds are bouncy little mattresses up there. Something flutters past my window, making me jump. It's a flock of birds taking off for the cloud beds. They must have come a little too close to the bus for comfort. I watch them till they're nothing but specks. And for a second, I see something else in the sky, a flutter of wings too big to be anything I can name.